Hi, good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is 10 July 2022. Right? It's a Sunday. So we will be continuing our sharing from this book. Lesson 71, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, 无量义经. So this sutra is very good. That's why the transcript turned out also very beautiful. So today we will continue from page 17. Yeah? The subtitle is very good. How to break or root out habitual tendencies during our cultivation, so that we can develop the stability of wisdom to have this ability to make the Dhamma a living reality. Okay, so as usual, let us compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adina Dana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kamesu Miccācara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Musawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Surameraya Majapamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Bhajan. Padang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang pujemi. Okay, you all can be seated. Just relax body and mind, and maintain some form of stability of posture and attention. Then silence your mind, beware of the light, so that you all can have our usual. Oh, sorry, today is Sunday. We're supposed to start our Sutra first. Yeah. Okay, sorry about this. So turn to page 6 of the chanting book. We will do the invocation to the devas. Yeah. So the meditation is after the sutta sharing. Okay. Invocation to the devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chiyakawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhammasvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhammasvanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Iti beso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhammasarti satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pajatang Veditabbo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yaya Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samici Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yaditang Cattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang punyang ketang lokasati sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you can be seated. And now we'll continue from where we stopped. Page 17, turn to page 17 of this transcript book, lesson 71, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, 3.3.1.3, how to break or root out habitual tendency. So earlier on, we went through a very detailed discussion of this transcript book where all the cultivation and the teachings were there. And we reached these 5 ways to overcome unwholesome thought. So we have dealt with most of them. Then now is to break or root out habitual tendency. So this one involves the meditative way, the third and the fourth way. So I will read on so that we can develop the understanding together. This third and fourth way are both meditative way needed to develop the understanding to free our mind. That's why without the wisdom, it is impossible to root out habitual tendency. And like I always share, the only way to free the mind is via wisdom. Not all the special mind state, psychic ability, or fantastic meditative states or experience. None of those can help you. It may make you feel good, fantastic meditative mind state. You may have even psychic ability or special extraordinary ability. But all this, if they fail to give rise to wisdom, understanding, your delusion will still be there. Your avijja, ignorance, will still be there. Then you will not have any knowledge or understanding of who you are, what you are, and how you become ensnared in dukkha and suffering. All this you can only understand if you have the direct seeing, a silent mind to observe, to insight into phenomena, to awaken. Then that wisdom will enable the form and mind to break free, to rise above the phenomenal of consciousness and form. So remember this. As you cultivate, you will come to that understanding too. So I'll read again. The third and fourth ways are both meditative ways needed to develop the understanding to free our mind, so that we are no longer deluded by the phenomenal of consciousness and form, so that our mind will no longer stir and react to sense experience like before. That is how you can break your habitual tendency. Otherwise, this habitual tendency cannot be rooted out. Without wisdom, it will always be there. A lot of cultivators used to discuss this topic with me. They will ask me, you say, Bratio, this monkey mind is very, very cunning, and they use the word creative. It's not creative, deceptive. Sometimes they come through the back door. Such habitual tendencies are so difficult for them to root out, because according to them, they keep on experiencing this emotion of anger, hatred, fear, worry, anxiety, phobia, etc. And the more difficult one are the subtle fear, the subtle phobia and dislike, that one also very difficult to root out. Because this habitual tendency has been developed over a long period of time. Not only this life, sometimes it could be over the century or millennium. You have been caught in delusion for so long. So the form of mind that come, the psyche behind the karmic conditioning and the consciousness. And these are the habitual tendency or behavior that you have developed over long period of time. So it's like karmic related habit or tendency, and it will continue to condition you. That's why it's very difficult for people to root it out. So they know. That's why after that I said, so I told them the reason. It is because he has been there for so long. They are so conditioned until it has become a habitual tendency, until they have become so habitual in their behavior, means mechanical. Then to root out demands a lot of understanding and wisdom. You must reflect and contemplate why you must root it out. Why is it so important that you must root it out? Because the Buddha said, these are evils, roots of all evil. Evil make you evil, cause your karmic downfall. To cultivate the third and the fourth way successfully, one must first train their mind to develop a very stable mindfulness or sati. This I had ever emphasized for many times. Hope by now you developed a clear understanding. So this stability of daily mindfulness or awareness nature within, you need to stabilize it. Otherwise, the third and fourth way cannot be cultivated. So now you understand. The third and fourth way can only be cultivated when you have a very stable sati or mindfulness or awareness nature. Okay. Then the next section is how to apply the four right effort to avoid all evil and cultivate wholesomeness. This is under the Noble Eightfold Path factor. The Buddha called it Sama Vayama. Vayama means the four right effort or determination to do something about it, to root it out, to develop the wholesomeness. The four right effort are very beautiful teachings by the Buddha. When you can apply the first right effort to abandon them, means those wrong thought, wrong speech, and wrong action. Through the third and fourth meditative way as described above. So that first right effort is already very useful. It can help you, but temporary. You can only abandon it. You haven't developed the wisdom, and you haven't contemplated, reflect, and inquire until that wisdom has become very stable. So initially, is to apply the third and fourth way to abandon the unwholesome thought, the unwholesome speech and action that has arisen. So the first right effort is after it has arisen, the defilements, then you have to develop the right effort or determination to root it out. So the third way, as I have explained earlier on, now I will go through with you again, is as per the Buddha's advice. Whenever there is an unwholesome thought, because you are mindful, you're sensitive, you are aware. So like the Buddha said, when there is anger, aware. When there is fear, aware. That's it. Don't do anything. When you have the stability of awareness, stay with it. Aware of what is arising. Then the answer will come out by itself. You will realize all the essential Dhamma that you need to know. So when you stay with the wrong thought, the emotion, like anger, hatred, envy, or jealousy, or even fear, stay with it. Don't try to know, don't try to do anything, just stay with it. And find out for yourself what will happen. Then the understanding will arise. Because this mindfulness or awareness, your true mind, is without thought. So if you can stabilize the awareness, what will happen is, it's like a purifying force. It will let you develop the awareness to see that all this wrong thought, emotion, negativity of mind state, they are dependent, originating, condition arising, cause of normal. That's why it will dissipate and cease. Because that purifying pure energy from that true mind, the silent mind, the awareness nature, doesn't do anything. It just allows you to witness how things arise and how things pass away without any more delusion that thing will dissipate. Because the causes and conditions that support is arising is wrong view, Sakaya Ditti, that grasps and cling and hold on to the five aggregates of form and mind. Like the Buddha said, the final summary of the First Noble Truth, in short, is the into one Sakaya Ditti, self-delusion, that condition on to grasp at the five aggregates of form and mind, thinking that it is real, thinking that anger is you, fear is you, emotions are yours. If you continue to hold on to that, it will continue to ensnare you or entangle you and develop the proliferation of thought, leading to more and more anger, unhappiness, fear, worry, anxiety, and finally developing the sorrow and lamentation, phobia. You even grieve over it or remorse over all these things. That's how it continues to spin the deluded one, the heedless one, and ensnare them into that negative emotion. And that is what dukkha is all about, suffering is all about. If you are not aware, this cocoon of thought will engulf you and really create a lot of misery and suffering in you until people enter depression. They cannot come out of it. They feel so miserable, so sad, so unhappy. Then the movement of thought create more of this anger, hatred, deep resentment, and sometimes fear, phobia, and all this. These are all the wrong thoughts. What are wrong thoughts? Thought that condition your suffering, your misery, or the negative emotion, tendencies that brings about intense dukkha. So the third way is to be aware, to see all this ceasing. When you don't do anything, when you don't feed the negative thought process with all the wrong view before you develop the stirring of the mind to have the emotion. Now you decide not to do anything. Silence your mind, develop the awareness, stabilize it, and stay with the emotion. And find out what happened. Then you realize after a while, when the causes and condition and the supporting condition no more, the natural state of mind return, where the true mind is without thought, without conditioning. No thought means no fear, no ignorance, no worry, no anxiety, nothing. Where there is no thought to create the movement, the proliferation of thought through delusion, ignorance. No thought means no delusion. No delusion means no grasping, no clinging. Thing is just the way it is, manifest. That's how it happens. That it is. And when it sees, that is the realization. That is meditation. So now hopefully you understand what meditation is. Meditation is not to chase after things, to experience things and to see fantastic things. No. Meditation is to realize the empty nature of existence, to realize the truth, the dependent originating movement, the dwelling, paticca samuppada, how one is conditioned into negativity, leading to suffering and misery. When you see that, you awaken. Then you realize a very profound understanding. These are all dependent originating, not intrinsic within my nature. Then why do I worry about? Why must I fight it, suppress it, do away with it? All these are delusion, ignorant. That's why the real meditation is don't try to do anything. Don't try to experience or know, just silent. Let the purifying, pure energy from that nature, the awareness nature, the silent mind, burn the defilement. Then when the defilement is no more, the original state of mind return. Actually, it was there all the time. Because when you are no longer deluded, preoccupied with your dependent originating mind state, then you become one with the awareness nature. That's how the true mind surfaces. Then that realization will give you wisdom. If it's not me, if anger is not me, craving is not me, desire is not me, then why do I go and create the duality to try to fight and do away with it? No need. When I realize that cessation, I will understand exactly what the Buddha said in the Satipatthana Sutta, the fourth foundation of mindfulness, especially the fourth foundation, the first category of cultivation. He said, when sensual desire or ill will or sloth and torpor or restlessness of mind or doubt, the five mental hindrances, when they arise, any of them, you're supposed to be aware. Then let it be. Then you, through your observation, you saw it ceasing. That's how you come to know how the arisen mental hindrance can be sensual desire, ill will, or even restlessness of mind, sleepiness of mind, or even doubt, triggering of fear or this thing. So when you witness them ceasing, is you know how the arisen sensual desire or mental hindrance cease to be. Then after that, if you continue with your meditation, then you can trace the origination factor, how the unarisen mental hindrance comes to be. That one is the fourth way. And the fourth way is actually the third way of the fourth foundation of mindfulness, which is mindfulness of the six internal sense bases and the six external sense bases. So when you are aware of your internal sense bases, means your 5 physical senses that give rise to seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, taste, tactile, and thought consciousness, and even taste consciousness. So this example, they are there. So when you are aware internally, immediately when they arise, it will trigger off. Then because of your awareness, you can see them. That is what meditation is all about. Not using knowledge and thought. That's why thought-based give rise to knowledge. You cannot develop the real wisdom to live it, to make it a living reality. So what happens is, when you are aware, that is the most important. Then when the sense data come in, from any other sense though, let's say hearing, so it is the vibration, the sense data, impingement onto your eardrum. So upon contact, what happens? You become conscious of that hearing. So the hearing consciousness arises. Then how, through that hearing, when you are deluded, when you have sakkayaditthi, self-delusion, you grasp at it, cling onto it, then you get angry, emotion. And then you realize that is how it arises. Trace the origination factor. Even fear also same, anger, hatred, or craving, sensual desire. They arise the same way through your senses. Most of the time it's these 3 basic senses. From what you see, what you hear, and what you recollect through memory. The other 3 sense bases are not that powerful. They are also minor in their nature. Like when you taste something you don't like, that's it, finish. It doesn't cause much suffering. Then when you smell something you don't like, of course at that moment, it could be pungent or foul smell, you don't like it. You aware, finish. Then the other one is smell. Then tactile. Tactile is your feeling, pleasant, unpleasant feeling, good feeling. Like you are in an environment where the aircon temperature is just nice, not too cold, not too hot. You feel nice, pleasant, that tactile. But sometimes condition can change. You feel like the ventilation not enough, stuffy, or you feel like it's too hot, you start to sweat, then you don't feel good, then your body react to it, then you may sneeze, or you may develop some like unpleasant reaction to the environment. And this is how our body trigger off all this to let you know that something is not right. Either you move away or you get the thing rectified. If you have no condition or control over it, then you have to endure, you have to silence, you have to relax and endure, you have to. So all these are Dhamma wisdom that you develop through experiencing life, understanding the reality of life and existence. Because these are reality that everyone who lives life long enough will have to confront. It's not unique only to you. But if you don't have wisdom, you suffer, you become miserable. So through observation in life with the daily mindfulness, stability or awareness, nature state, you develop the understanding of who you are, what you are, and how you function as a living being. That's why you will trace the origination factor because of sense data, sense basis, with the awareness from within. It can trigger off consciousness. You become conscious. Conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you technically feel and think. And when consciousness arises, the next moment or movement is the input of the content of consciousness, where most of you act according to memory. And what is your memory? Accumulation of experiences, good and bad. Accumulation of your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, your phobia, your insecurity, your fear, your scars of memory, and also your emotional negativity, your ego. All this are wrong thoughts with the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. And because of the three evil roots, the five mental hindrances keep on arising. So throughout the day, you manifest this habitual tendency of like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant. These are sensual desire in you. Then when you are lethargic, you don't understand the importance of cultivating Dhamma, listening to Dhamma to straighten your view. You feel sleepy. And then your mind becomes restless when you have a problem, unsolved problem, when you confront the first noble truth reality without understanding. And what is restlessness? Fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation lead to restlessness of mind, especially worry, fear. Then after that, when you don't understand, you have doubt. When you have doubt, you lack faith. You start to project your thought. Well, that doubt makes you very, very weak, very unstable. Then you become more and more heedless, more and more deluded. That's how all this habitual tendency, they become more and more powerful because you continue to think and think and think over the same old issue. We call it the cocoon of thought or thinking that you develop to ensnare yourself or to trap yourself, to entangle yourself. This is how people develop depression, intense phobia and fear. Then their immune system breaks down, the negative energy, especially fear, the negative emotion, tendency, remorse, all those things, the grief, the sorrow, the lamentation, make them very miserable. And this negative energy or tendency will lower your immune system, trigger of mutation in your cells, leading to cancer development, sickness, disease, and all these things. All this will manifest, and these are the realities. That's why to reverse all this, you have to be mindful, aware, to trace the origination factor, to see how it arises. Then after observation, after developing the understanding, what must you do to free yourself? That's why the fourth way is mindfulness of the six internal sense bases. Then the six external sense bases are your sense data. Then the mind, when it makes contact, it triggers of the 18th sense right. That's how you function as a human being. Then the paticca samuppada, if you are mindful of the way, you can see them all the link very clearly. How craving arises, how dependent on contact feeling arises, and immediately it conditions craving because of your wrong view, your delusion. You act according to memory, which are full of your delusion, that condition all of the wrong view from your belief system, your conditioning, your whatever habitual tendency, all this will manifest. This is how you should meditate and develop the understanding and awakening. Don't go and rationalize and think. Silence your mind. Awaken to it. See it clearly. Then suddenly from within it's like you awaken. You have insight into all this. You have come to realize All along, it was just this movement, dependent originating, condition arising that entangle you. And to liberate is very simple. When I see, I understand, I awaken, I will never allow it to happen because I make a decision not to be deluded anymore. So what should you do? You should straighten your view so that in future, when the consciousness arrives, when you become conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactile feel and think, you are no longer deluded because you have straightened your view. You have developed the opposite ability with wisdom to see things as they are, not through your memory, to perceive them according to your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, your whatever phobia and all those things. These are all the wrong thought, the rubbish that you have accumulated. And these are not truth, not Dhamma, not reality. So when you straighten your view, you develop the understanding as per the advice of the Buddha. Learn to see things as they are. That's why this is the direct seeing before the memory or the thought process perceive through your views, opinion, and conditioning. So the direct seeing is the awareness. Originally, there was nothing. No word, no perception from the conditioned mind, from your memory, nothing. Thing is just the way it is. Then you start to realize, like the Buddha said, condition like that, things to be like that. This is what Paticca Samuppada is. This is what the nature's law is. Condition already fixed. The reality will be what it is. So I have to come to that understanding to accept the reality of the moment, every moment, each and every moment. And this is what the Buddha says, suchness, tatata. Or what J. Krishnamurti say, what is the reality. So if I accept them for what they are, I accept the world for what they are, condition like that, things so I'm at peace. I won't project my thought anymore. I don't develop remorse anymore because I have right view. Thing is just the way it is, like the Buddha said. We are all born of our karma, heir to our karma. Condition is supported by our karma. We are what we are because of our karma. So we have to accept that karma is the basis of life and existence before one is enlightened. So when you see all this and understand all this, when you accept, you are at peace. The mind does not stir, does not project, does not do all the foolish things. That's why with that clarity, that understanding, you can act. You no longer, like last time, worry about the problem, think about the problem, project the thought and develop the fear, worry, and anxiety. All this will not help you. The only way to free is the third way, silent, aware, and accept the reality. Then from there, you can still act. Act with wisdom, noble eightfold path, following the Dhamma way, not following your memory, which are your accumulated views, opinion, and conditioning. That one cannot act. That's the reason why J. Krishnamurti say acting according to memory is not acting at all. Because that is all wrong thought, delusion. Your accumulated rubbish most of the time. So through all this observation, mindfulness, and awareness, you are able to trace the origination factor. Then you will come to know how the unarisen mental hindrance comes to be. Then when they arise, you continue with the third way, aware, then you see it ceasing. You will come to know how the arisen mental hindrance is to be. And these two, wisdom, will free your mind. Then after that, you no longer deluded, you cannot be deceived. the phenomenal world will have no power over you. Then what happened? You will come to know the third wisdom that the Buddha talked about. You will come to know how in the future the mental hindrance that has not arisen will not arise anymore in you. That's how the Satipatthana, the fourth foundation of mindfulness, first category of cultivation, mindfulness of the five mental hindrance is taught. That is what is written in the Sutra. But how many people understand that and do it correctly? Linking to the third and fourth way, mindfulness, awareness, not thought-based reasoning or method, technique, focusing, concentrating. No, if you do that, you are limited by the instrument you use and do. That's why you'll be stuck. You cannot be free. Okay, so hopefully with this explanation, it is clear. We are now, I have the condition to go in more deeply, in more detail, so that those who are doing it already, you listen to this again, you will penetrate and stabilize your understanding. Then the next time you live life, this understanding will surface. This is what we call right view, straightening of view, to see things as they are. People are just the way they are. Condition like that, things will be like that. The world is the world. Then when you can do this, this becomes uniso manasikara. Wisdom at the moment of sense of you. But these are the realization that your silent mind or your what they call stability of mindfulness or awareness nature has awakened to. No need to remember one, it will be there. Then when this surfaces spontaneously at the moment of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile and thought process, it will know what to do. That's why after this sati sampajana develop very stable, you cannot break the precept anymore. Sense restraint will be there. This is how you develop it. Through the third way and the fourth way and the four right effort. Okay, we go back to the notes. Now I continue from the four right effort. I finished the first, but the other three I haven't. So the four right effort are very beautiful teaching. When you can apply the first right effort to abandon them through the third and the fourth way, that means the wrong thought. These are the meditative way, as described earlier. So if you do that, you can abandon it. Then after you abandon it, the second right effort can then fall into place. So the next time when you confront a similar sense experience, then you can have that wisdom, the uniso manasikara, to prevent it from arising. Because you have developed the initial wisdom and the understanding already. Because you know no point reacting, projecting your thought and fighting. We are all these emotions are dependent originating, not intrinsic to your true mind, true nature. They are not real. They are not what you think they are. They have the universal characteristic. So no more delusion. That's how you free. Then you will also come to an understanding. Why must I react? No need. Why stir your mind? That is why the second right effort can only be developed when you have developed the initial wisdom, which is yoniso manasikara developed. Then after that, you can cultivate the third right effort to cultivate whatever virtue or right thought, right speech and right action, and wholesome thought that are still not in you. Then finally, of course, the fourth right effort is when you cultivate all this consistently, you will become beautiful. So I have to elaborate the fourth right effort. I missed out one sentence of that. Then the fourth right effort, of course, is to refine upon whatever virtue or right thought that you have already developed until you can perfect them all. So this four right effort, where you cultivate them consistently, you become beautiful. Then you can develop the understanding to free your mind. And after that, you can meditate very easily. This is how you can root out habitual tendency. Otherwise, you can't. Please wake up and understand thought-based meditation, knowledge-based Dharma knowledge cannot free you, cannot liberate your mind. Okay? Then we move on. 3.3.1.5. To cultivate the sainthood way. This one is relatively much easier. You can then develop the silent mind to cultivate the four foundation of mindfulness following the Satipatthana. And this is step 8 of Avijja Sutta. The four foundation of mindfulness cultivation will lead you to the ultimate wisdom to liberate your mind and free your mind of all the 10 fetters, including ignorance. So even the last fetter of ignorance can also be rooted out. Then all the fetters of restlessness, self-conceit, attachment to whatever, means form and formless jhana, all can be rooted out. That is how you realize arahantship or full enlightenment. Initially, the enlightenment of the sainthood way, covering the first stage of sainthood and the second stage of sainthood, or the third stage of sainthood, which is the Sotapaddi, Sakadagami, and Anagami, can be realized through a glimpse of cessation. Finally, you will realize the arahantship when you, after you have cultivated the four foundations of mindfulness. Actually, anagami and arahantship, they only arise after you start cultivating the four foundations of mindfulness, as the Sutra, and also the Avijja Sutra. This is how you transcend birth and death. After that, no more birth and no more death through the normal, deluded, ignorant way. But if you are a bodhisattva, you can still come back. You can still be born again to continue the bodhisattva way. That's why the next section is to cultivate the bodhisattva way. Okay. 3.3.1.6. Then you have developed the condition. Then if you have the condition to go the bodhisattva way, you can still come back. To go the bodhisattva way, you must take the four basic vows of a bodhisattva. You must plant the seed of Bodhi to arise the Bodhi mind. Bodhi is enlightenment. So enlightenment thought or mind. You must develop the faith, the sincerity, and the perseverance to go this way. And you must aspire strongly out of love and compassion for living beings to develop the first basic vow of a bodhisattva, meaning you vow to take across all sentient beings, the limitless sentient being throughout the whole universe or samsara, until they are all liberated, or take them across to the other shore to realize nibbana. That one is out of love and compassion to arise the pure thought or the pure mind, so that you can come back again. So this rebirth is not due to delusion. It's out of love and compassion with a pure thought. That's why they are bodhisattva, enlightened beings, who come back with a pure thought. So that you can take rebirth through a pure thought, a wholesome thought, with no more delusion or ignorance. This understanding is very profound and very much deeper than the ordinary cultivation of the sainthood way. This cultivation of the bodhisattva way following the Mahayana tradition is very different from that of the sainthood way of the Theravada tradition, where it is as if not mentioned in their teaching at all. It is only briefly mentioned that the Buddha did it. That is, that's it. He cultivated the 10 perfection and became a Samasa Buddha. That's it. He didn't describe how he do it. But there is no teaching on how to develop it, how to cultivate and perfect it. Not until you go into the Maya teaching. Then all these are clearly explained or spelled. So these are the extra understanding, which I hope you all will find it useful. Which I hope will be useful for most of you. Okay, now I will continue with our sharing from the commentaries of this book. I will read the title again. When you give rise to an unwholesome thought, that thought destroys the seeds of goodness. That's why we have gone through. Eh? So now, with the right view with regards to law of karma, you must have this understanding and never allow an unwholesome thought to destroy the seeds of all your goodness within. That's why true cultivators, they are very mindful, fully aware, and very determined. They will never fall back to the old way, where they see the danger, the delusion. This one I can explain. Sorry, I had explained. Similarly, the opposite is true. When we give rise to a wholesome thought, that thought destroys countless evil thoughts. As a cultivator, we must understand this properly and act appropriately. So by now, I think most Kayanamitta must have this understanding already. Next section, 3.3.1.7. Our intrinsic Buddha nature or true nature. This one, you have developed the cultivation accordingly, it will help you. Then you will develop a lot of joy when you go through this revision with me. Then according to the commentaries, we said everyone intrinsically has a pure, clear, and thoroughly undefiled treasure trove within. The treasure, the word trove was added in by me. The underlying one is from the Sutra. This is very true because our Buddha nature, our true nature within is intrinsically pure, clear, and thoroughly undefiled. It is because of ignorance that condition living being to stir and arise the mundane mind. That's how evil comes to be. Before that, there was none. That's why you must meditate to realize that Buddha nature, that true nature, that self nature, or your true mind, or your silent mind, which is our original nature, but like the Myanmar. And the only one who can open up your own treasure trove is you, which is very true. Because the form and mind has the gateway to the treasure trove, and only you, via your 5 aggregates of form and mind, can develop the understanding during the meditative training to realize that gateway and to open up that treasure trove. That's why the fourth support, trust, is the way to reach that treasure trove, to connect to our true nature. Without the trust, the silent mind, it cannot detect. Even with the trust, you must have very stable mindfulness, and you must silence everything and stay at the heart and let it detect. Because that gateway differs slightly from individual to individual. Different people, they are located at different locations, but basically it's mostly towards the left of our heart. So when you meditate, you will understand. You will be able to find out for your own. Then the distance also, I realize, it moves, it varies. Then it can be located. But you need to have complete silence, means no thought. Means you trust your nature to develop the detection of the gateway. And from there, that trust will manifest, that nature will go in, melt inside. Then all of the whatever yin yang thought energy will melt inside and become pure energy. That's how the internal movement of the fourth support, the transformation, the real, what they call movement, to open up. The word is true opening, not tampering from outside using the thought. That nature develop the movement on its own to actually trigger the opening of the internal nadis and chakras, so that your vibration, your wisdom energy all pervade your entire form and mind, your entire being. Then it will trigger more and more transformation. Then after that, that fine vibration within your nature will condition the mundane mind to collapse. Yet the mundane mind cannot stand that fine vibration. That very fine vibration which is full of wisdom energy, pure energy, that one can trigger off the collapse of the mundane mind. But this only done by the Bodhisattva at a much later stage. That's why I say in a way you don't need to do all these things. Okay, then we go back to the sharing. That's why you must realize the true mind, that self nature, the awareness nature within. If you don't touch it, you can never develop wisdom. What I'm talking about is the penetrative wisdom, the third turning one. You can never understand the true teachings of the Buddha or the Dhamma, the true Buddha Dhamma. That's why the first hallmark of awakening is to realize no thought. 无念. No thought means the silent mind or the true mind. Like 佛言长老 mentioned, 无念就是真心. No thought is the true mind or the silent mind. That awareness nature, which is without thought, is your true mind. Without thought, you already aware. That's your awareness nature. That is your true mind. It is so simple. To meditate is not to think, not to inquire, not to do anything. Instead, just relax and maintain awareness to realize that true nature, that true mind. Understand this, and you will transform. That's why this type of awareness-based meditation is very different. You straight away silent, relax, and maintain awareness. Don't have to do anything. That is the correct understanding and the correct way to do it. Okay? Then I will read on, and you may. And maybe you can understand better. We continue with the Sutra. Only by looking within, the Sutta say, and uncovering the true nature can you manifest infinite wisdom. See, the Sutta also say the same thing. So I continue. See, the author also know you must go within, silence your mind, and use the awareness nature to see within. If you don't go within, you cannot develop the understanding. If you don't go within, you cannot realize that true mind, that silent mind, that nature within. And that is the one that can give rise to infinite wisdom. The silent mind can insight into phenomena and awaken to the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. The silent mind can observe and develop the wisdom needed to straighten our views after developing the understanding. It is the silent mind that can see things as they are and awaken. That's why the silent mind is very important. That self nature, that true nature, the awareness nature within is very important. Then the Buddha comes into this world repeatedly to teach us the Dhamma, or the truth, the essential Dhamma. He tells us all repeatedly that we all intrinsically have this Buddha nature within, but we remain unaware of it and therefore cannot put it to good use. Why? Understanding this is very important because most human beings are deluded, caught up in the thinking, the heedless thinking, the thought process. They do not realize that they have another nature within, the true mind, the silent mind. They thought the mundane mind, the heedless thinking mind is what they are. That's why that's why they get lost. They get themselves deluded. And that one, the mundane mind, obscure their true nature, causing them to think a lot. That's why they cannot realize that nature within. That nature can only surface or manifest when your thoughts stop. Living beings are so heedless, even when they sleep, they still have activities of mind. Their subconscious and the unconscious mind, their phobia, everything else still moves. That's why you tend to dream a lot. These are your subconscious and unconscious release. You cannot have a peaceful sleep. You cannot have a good and very well developed type of sleep. Means deep sleep. When you sleep, you have the Dhamma understanding to silence. Your mind can relax in still awareness to allow your true nature to heal your body, to recuperate, so that you can recuperate and you wake up fresh as if you have rested very long. Initially, you only need to be in the meditative state for only 5 to 10 minutes. Then it's enough. You will feel the big difference. Then later on, you will come to understand the body is just a body. And as it ages, you will need longer time to recuperate. But it is really beautiful. That's why if you know how to meditate, it can make so much of a difference to the way you get to understand life, to live the meaningful and wonderful life, and how you get to maintain a relatively healthier physical body. Otherwise, it is not easy. That's why normal human beings are completely heedless, lost in thought most of the time, and they cannot do it. So this understanding is very important. I think we have to stop. We better stop here. I will mark this page because it's already 4:09, so that we can have the meditation. Page 23. Today's sharing is very good. You all better listen to it. It's a very good revision. And for those who are treading the Bodhisattva way, you will find it very, very useful. Okay, so we can have our toilet break, 3 minutes of toilet break. Then after that, we can come back for 45 minutes of awareness-based meditation. So I have explained the whole cultivation already. I think by now no need to talk too much about awareness-based meditation. You only need to silence your mind, relax, maintain awareness to realize that true mind, that silent mind, then stabilize it. Then no need to do anything, no need to know. Just silent. It will understand. It will awaken. It will insight into phenomenon. That is the true mind, the meditative mind. If you have not stabilized it, then you cannot understand what I share. You cannot understand the true Buddha Dharma. Not until you stabilize it, your daily mindfulness also cannot be developed. So sati sampajana is very vital, very, very important. Not until you can be mindful in the midst of life to be heedful, you don't stand a chance this type of meditation, this type of Dhamma. You can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, inner awareness for as long as you can. These are the mind states that can help you develop the stability of the daily mindfulness. You have to develop it until the stability is there, until the mind enters sati, and everything you do, you are in sati. Every action, movement, activity, you are in sati. And every moment of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process, the sati is there. Seeing is in sati, hearing is in sati, smell, taste, tactile, all in sati. Even the arising of thought, there is sati. You can reach that stability, my nature will rejoice. Okay. Okay, now we will come to the second session. We'll open up for meditation reporting. And if you have any Dhamma question or meditative question, you can ask them.
Brazil, I want to talk about my experience going out at night.
Can. Yeah. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually don't go out at night, Brazil.
Okay.
But because of the opening up of the economy, right? So now people can go out, join activities, right? So I went out and I took a bus at night, and then because the place is kind of like the route is, I mean, I took the bus and it's a new route for me that I changed, because I want to try the new place, a new bus, and then because of that, the place is kind of dark. Okay.
Okay.
So when I alight the bus, then I have to walk a short distance before I can take another bus, right? So the distance is like quite dark for me, quite dark for me, and then I have to walk that stretch. So immediately, my thought came, dark and fear.
Yeah.
Okay, dark and fear. So, but the thing is, the interesting thing is, brother, it come out, but it doesn't do anything, It doesn't do anything. And then after that, I laugh and I said, "This is just about," and then that whole thing subside. That whole thing subside.
Yeah, because
the thing about this is very because when I was young, I was afraid of dark,
Yeah.
Because normal, I think it's very normal.
Because Chinese, we have this tradition, superstition. Dark area got ghosts on. That's why most Chinese, they have these beliefs. But they are so conditioned when young. Don't go to dark places, haunted, or got ghosts and all those things. That's why your thought, through your conditioning belief system, you realize this surface. Then like you can detect initially that fear. But because of your initial wisdom that you have developed, the Unisomanasika, it was surface. It's just a thought. It just come and go. This is the nature of the mundane mind. It has got no reality. Then that understanding will free you. Then you can stay and walk that stretch, although dark, but nothing. What you have to understand is, you have done what you have to do, means taken care of karma, follow the advice of the Buddha, to avoid all evil, do good and purify your mind. Then you trust your karmic nature, your spiritual nature, your understanding. that everything is just the way it is, meant to be will be, then you will be at peace. No matter what happens, you will be at peace. So that is a good start, a good trial, because your Singapore side economy just opened up and you have started to venture out, like you explained just now. And you have to change your bus route. And at that route where you change, you have to walk a distance, which is quite dark. So because you are more aware now, you will experience this type of things that arise. That's why when it arises, aware, then the Wholesomeness you have means you have. It will surface the initial wisdom or the Dhamma understanding. If you don't have, then of course the thought will project, the fear will continue, and all those things until you reach a brighter place or a place where you feel safe. That's why J. Krishnamurti used this word. Living beings, human beings, they tend to cling on to security. You know what is security? They want to be safe. So security is you want to feel safe. Whenever you don't feel safe, the thought trigger of fear, worry, anxiety. So the attachment or the craving or the clinging for security is actually one of the defilement, the wrong view. Why do they need security? Security comes about because there is fear of the unknown. So everything that man seeks is to develop security. But there is no such thing as absolute true security. I mean, as a human being, you have the means, the authority. You can try to develop security, like secure your home, secure everything. But that type of life, is it worth living? Not to say you totally don't do anything. Like you want to install security camera, you can. It's for certain purpose, to have it as a record and protection. Maybe initially it's like it acts as a sort of a deterrent and all those things. But when you overdo it out of fear, wanting security so badly, so that defilement, which is insecurity, will trigger off that craving for security. But you have developed the Dhamma understanding, that thing disappear. Yes, life is just the way it is. Life depends on many things. Like the Buddha said, we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. We are what we are because of our karma. So when we have that understanding, we take care of karma, do the best we can. If we have done that, that's it. Your life will be in accordance. So no need to fear. Whatever will be, will be. Reality is. Truth is. Condition like that, things will be like that. So even Sister Ingbi also knew that he told Jin how no need to be sorry and all those things, because there are causes and conditions behind whatever that arises is meant to be, will be. So I actually just make a suggestion or a comment, because that day when I went out to Singapore, you remember, we had a very good sharing at this brother TK's sister and brother-in-law's house. And the sharing, I can sense, I promised them at the end, closing puja, I will do the chanting, then the blessing for the house and all the people there, invoke the triple gem and all those things. And Jin Hao, actually, he has this, they mention this as he want to actually make it convenient for people. Even PG also mentioned, because there are some who doesn't want to waste time listening to all the chanting and all those things. They may take up too much time, and people who have the interest may not like it. So that's why they cut it off, they censor it. But then the world is the world. There are duality behind. But that day, I knew that the owner was looking forward to that chanting, the blessing for the place. That was the first time I go there, and I promised it was done. And because of that, I feel that if you have incorporated, it would have made a big difference. Then also, I realized the recent Thursday class or Tuesday class, we have the physical class. Then when we do the pre-puja, we start to invoke the puja offering. Then after that, we chant. Then we include the aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all this puja offering. So there are Dhamma teaching inside there. Then I also in the Singapore talk share how to new people I usually share this. How when you participate in spiritual activity, Dhamma activity, you get to perform the 10 meritorious action. Almost all the 10 meritorious action. Because they are the activity that we do, like that they explain. The first three very easy to remember. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Dana is generosity. So they offer Dana. They will have opportunity to make offering generosity. Then Sila, you keep your precept. It's a meritorious action. It's very beautiful. That's why Dana, Sila. Then Bhavana is to be attentive, silent your mind, to listen, to observe, to develop the understanding of the teaching. So that is meditative, bhavana. Then after that, you have respect. You should pay respect to the triple gem or people who are worthy of respect. So reverential salutation or respect is also one of the meritorious action. Then you get to listen to the Dhamma, the fifth meritorious action. And as you listen to the Dhamma, you rejoice. Another meritorious action. Then you share merit, transfer merit, another meritorious action. Then you straighten your views. It's another meritorious action. Then after that, you can help out, provide, give service and all those things. Or let people know about all this activity and all those things. So service to the community, to the triple gem, yeah, to the Dhamma activity area. All these are meritorious. Then finally, of course, the gift of truth. The gift of truth, you have the means, you can share, you can give, or you do the other activity that can lead to this gift of truth, like inviting people, letting people know that there is such Dhamma activity, then also maybe help out in the transcript, in the production of the transcript Dhamma book, or the sharing of the video and others things which normally people who already have the understanding will do. If they know these are helpful, these are useful, they are benefited from it, then they will do. So in a way, indirectly, you propagate in this the gift of truth. So all this 10 meritorious action we get to do. That's why I want it to be added. Then Jin Hao being Jin Hao, you know, he feel like very remorseful because I mentioned it. So he's so sorry. I said no need. Then Envy gave a very good reply. That one reflect her understanding of the law of cause and effect, nature's condition. Yeah. Just let things be. No need to do all these things. Condition like that, things will be like that. There are causes and conditions. So understand it and just do. So it's like we used to share. The past is already gone. Why you want to worry about right and wrong? Why you want to carry this under a very remorseful or sorrowful thought? No. If you need to apologize, you can, there was no problem. But in this case, it's not necessary. He has helped us in such a great way to develop the website, to do the video, to actually edit a lot of things, and to actually bring about the team that help in the development of the audio file, the video file, and also together with my daughter, Sri Andio, produce the recorder and all those things. And many other Kayamita who volunteer to do the short video and all those things. In fact, coaching also has been doing a lot. And these short videos are very good. And I can tell you the last few days sharing, oh, very good. You can produce a short video. Even today one, the full of the section that I share, and the previous Sunday also said, actually this lesson 71, Sutra of Infinite Meaning, is meant to be one that this type of teaching can come out. You read through, you will get a shock of the life. How can this type of sharing and teaching come about? These are very profound, very difficult to penetrate type of teaching. But yet, the condition allow it to unfold into simple day-to-day terminology where living being can understand. And it so happened it was transcribed. Just like at that time I just say, you can have to do it, you will be good. Then somebody volunteered, and immediately the whole thing came out. That's why it was still very new. And last year, 24 August, we did it. Then the transcript came out. Then we printed the book, but that time still under EMCO. So we cannot really distribute. Only those who know me or know Sri An or Mama Sri, you manage to get a copy. That's why now open up the physical class. Those who need, you let me know. I can bring them over. I think Thursday class can get on Mama Sri and Brother Sri An. And Tuesday class I have given out. And the Sunday class you want get from Sister Lee, they have it. So all this sharing are very beautiful, very meaningful. So project, sadhu to you. You can continue.
Yeah, Bratio, the most recent past weeks sharing Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday class.
They are
very,
very beautiful.
good. Yes. For me, Bratio, let me see, for myself personally, the Thursday class was very good. It was really excellent because it really pinpoint to the exact thing that we cultivators must do, correctly.
We are taught they cannot.
Correct.
That's why I put that one. Thought cannot meditate. I cross it. Understand? Thought cannot meditate. You have to meditate with sati, mindfulness, the silent mind. Then I explain the whole thing. Why cannot? Yeah, you continue. Okay.
So for new people or for people that want to switch from thought-based to awareness-based meditation, that particular Thursday talk is very good.
Very important. Very useful.
They must listen to that and really understand it, change to the correct cultivation, that will help them a lot tremendously. That one. So that talk was very good. And the one that brought you actually, how call that? Speak on the microphone. That one also very good. The short.
The observation when you see something instead of the word microphone, the direct seeing, the pure seeing, the observation of it It's very important. People don't know how to see. They see with the memory, the conditioned mind that perceive things the way they are so conditioned. That's a habitual tendency based on mental conditioning. That is the way people see, people describe things. Then you start to verbalize, starts to like chatter inside. Then the commentary, the thought proliferation. Then most of the time, like last time we share, we human beings use the image. They don't really see things as they are. They create the word, the thought, and the image. Then from the image, they live life, they act and do a lot of things. That's why habitual tendency and heedless thinking, they continue to proliferate. Very good. Then the other thing why I can nowadays share differently, even like today, I went into detail already. You realize that last time what I give you is just a skeleton outline. Only people who has developed the faith and the cultivation can understand what I say. But now I give detail. Even the Thursday class also, I went into detail why thought-based meditation cannot succeed. Last time one is just a few sentences, the key pointer that the serious cultivator or those who have the past, they can detect, then they can actually appreciate, then develop the understanding and rejoice, then progress. But now I realize that consciousness has evolved. More and more Kayamita now can understand my sharing. Nowadays, very surprisingly, not only Kayamita, sometimes people on the internet, I don't know, they contact me, they say, Brother, your talk very good, you're sharing your video. Like Brother TK also. They heard different things. They say, you never knew that there can be a living Dhamma, means that teaching can be a living reality. That's why all these are the words that catches people's attention. Then even TK's brother-in-law, he mentioned, he said he was observing me in the video. He realized I was very calm. Then when I share, I just share sincerely through my understanding. Yeah. And I never want to be controversial or anything. I just share based on my understanding. That's why people who know how to observe, listen, they benefit because they have the condition. Yeah. And not everybody has that. So now with the new way I share with all the details, you all can do all the short video. It's going to touch more and more people. With this short video, especially today sharing, if you don't believe me, you get it out, I tell you. When people who are cultivators listen to it, even monks, they will have a shock that this understanding can be there. It is very different. No Dhamma book can find this type of thing. Where these are real life Dhamma, the living Dhamma, that can be expressed, manifest, and taught in just simple, lay-to-day words. There is no esoteric type or expression or whatever. It's just day-to-day thing. And about the true nature, everything is there. The four right effort, the 5 ways to overcome unwholesome thought, especially the third and fourth way, linking to the Satipatthana Sutra. These are teachings that very few people can explain or even understand, not to say explain or express it. That's why it's very beautiful. So for your case also, you also have the cultivation. That's why you can feel the beauty of that sharing and how it can benefit people. Very good, Sadhu, Project.
Yes, I do to Brother Theo for giving us this precious Dharma.
Yeah.
So so I think from the Singapore group, I think that Brother Teo met, they are really, really very happy, especially TK, Joyce, and White
The
Kwan,
brother-in-law, they all,
yes,
even those
yes,
who attended
yes,
the talk, the audience.
yes.
Just
Actually,
imagine 11:30 until 5:30. You know how many hours or no? Where got people interested in this type of sharing for 5-6 hours, stay there, glue, especially the elder sister, when she's supposed to lead with a group. Then he said, never mind, let them go. I want to stay on. Then she asked them, question and all those things. That's why people who have the affinity and the understanding, they will stay, they will be attentively listen. And there was so much joy that day. You can feel the nature, the environment, everything.
yes, they are so thankful and all that.
They are very
especially
grateful.
Brother TK Chan, he's so thankful that he got extra lesson from Brother Teo. He was really, really how should I say, joyful that he got this opportunity, this rare opportunity. He also tell me that, and
very
he
true.
learned so much in a short time.
That's why you continue.
So I can see. I mean, I can feel his joyfulness and gratitude. For being able to hear and receive the true teaching from Brother Teo. So actually, I was hoping if he can actually speak up for himself on the Zoom, but he's not here. Maybe we should
don't worry. Just let things be. I think he is not familiar with the Zoom, I think. He's not familiar with the Zoom. Then the other thing I wanted to explain is when he invited me that time, I already knew I had to go down because I realized this style of sharing and teaching, normal people who don't have the past, the special ability, they cannot understand. And a lot of these things need clarification. They need to talk to me, discuss with me, then need to ask questions when I'm around there. That's why question is very important. Meditative question, sharing and all those things. Otherwise you won't learn. That's why even Pamasuri also knew that night the Thursday class, he said this type of Dhamma is very rare. This type of special Dhamma understanding is very rare indeed. Then even I think some Kayamita, they know, even Suyan, they know. I'm very good at answering Dhamma question one. The way I answer from the nature, direct one. So that's why the answer come out very beautiful. And the understanding is there, very deep. Cultivate all the way will understand. Even last time I remember at Champaka, there was a Burmese monk. He passed by, then she heard, then surprisingly, after a while, she decided to walk in and join my class. I was teaching meditation that Saturday class. Then I said, come, sit down. So instead of sitting down there, he sat next to me, I said, no problem, sit. Then we continue. Then he was listening attentively. Then later on, because of certain conditions, I was not able to go there and share. I want to consolidate the Saturday class with the Tuesday class. So I didn't go there. He was asking the Champaka people, where is this brother Theo? Is he still coming back to teach? That's how I came to know. Then later on, I met two of his very close devotees who make offering to him when he was around. Dana, I think they also very close to him. And somehow they came to my class. They heard from Sister Adelina. I'm still around. We had a class here. So they came. And when the sister came to our class, she actually saw me for the first time. Then she WhatsApp that monk in Burma, Sri Lanka. Sorry, Myanmar. So he WhatsApp. Then he saw the video photo, no? And he said, teacher, is it? Teacher. Then there was so much joy. That's why people really, they can feel, they can sense. And he really loved my class because he realized the way I answered the meditative question was so beautiful. You will not be able to see, even that day in Singapore, the brother-in-law of TK, brother TK, he also said that, he said, you better make use of the opportunity to ask Brother Theo whatever question you want. Yeah. He said he like can answer anything. Then he mentioned about Sadhguru and all those things. That's why there was a lot of joy and understanding. So these are the conditions. And I knew if I don't go down, very difficult to have the understanding. That's why you don't ask, you don't share, you don't really trigger off the condition. Even the transcript book, everything need condition on. The invitation for me to go and give talk on need condition on. Like Wu Bingjing sir, Miss Lee invited me. That's how it all started. Then it manifests until now. Then all the book come. The Sutra book, the transcript book, all the Maya Sutra, everything. Then Sri Ansai, the Thursday class also, I remember. Sister Amy was the one who requested. And together we informed. That's how it started. And so much thing happened. Beautiful. Then even the Tuesday class, the earliest Saturday class or whatever. It all happened because of causes and conditions. And because of this sharing. Those who come with faith regularly, attend and listen, constantly listen to them sharing, they progress, they become different, their life different, they transform. And you can see this unfolding. That's why I say this is a living Dhamma. It's not a theoretical knowledge type of Dhamma where you only have it as a theory. You cannot actually make it a living reality. You cannot change your life. You cannot transform you. That type of Dhamma no use. But this type of Dhamma touch the heart of living being. That's why a lot of people, after they hear, they become different. Okay, so Sadhu, you continue.
Yeah, Sadhu, right? Yeah. Right, yeah, what I want to say also is about the house Dana and Joyce, right? Joyce, Sister Joyce house, right? The question and answer is a very beautiful way of putting it in a very short and crisp manner. Because Brother Teo actually, the way Brother Teo say also is quite different from our usual way, So it's very direct and they will catch the meaning much easier because from thought base to the awareness base, it's a lot of difference. So I hope they really find it useful.
Oh, they can understand. Especially the sister of Brother TK, the Mayana one. She understands. I saw her with a lot of joy. She nodded her head, keep on nodding her head. Then Lorita also said how he caught in the knowledge-based type or thought-based type or training where they have to recall to memory on. And also, I think Brother TK, when he had the opportunity to ask me a lot of questions on the first day when I arrived, when you invite us for a lunch. He asked me a lot of questions that day, and he learned a lot. Then it was a prelude or preparation for him before the talk. That's why it helped him. Then when the talk happened, he connected a lot of things. You need all this explanation, otherwise most people cannot grasp or understand what I share. Because people who have the ability to understand what I share must have the silent mind. You must have the stability of awareness. If you don't have, you need my explanation for you to develop the understanding to slowly go in. Like Brother TK's case. And Brother TK's brother-in-law, he got better pass. He can sense and understand a lot of things that I say, and he knows it's beautiful. So it's a matter of time before karmic condition or affinity with the triple gem, the Dhamma, say ripen, then they will progress. And a lot of things has happened. The beginning of transformation to touch the heart of living being who has affinity and faith has already actually ripened. I realize everywhere I go now, even my sharing now, all very different. It evolved by itself. I didn't intend to do anything. Where my nature share things based on the audience, based on the condition, and if there is no condition, you will not speak too much because too much, no use. People cannot follow, cannot understand. It become like boring. And based on what is needed, then slowly when the condition ripen, this thing will manifest. That's why I wanted the Sunday class to use all the transcript note to develop the re-sharing again. All this will be very useful. Well, when I share most of this, I was like ahead of time, and very few cultivators and people can understand. Even a lot of Kayamita told me, but till 4-5 years ago, we really, we don't know what you are trying to tell. But now it's so different, so much clearer. Now I got a lot of feedback, a lot of things become so much clearer. Even that day, the Tuesday class, the Paticca Samuppada, the dwelling. After that, Brother Song asked question. Then after that, I asked Huirong whether you can understand. He said, yeah, I can. I was very surprised. Then he shared with me. Very good sharing. Huirong said, last time, it's like, she know, like Brother Tiki, like that, the Dhamma is very beautiful, but cannot do. You know, you cannot do. But over the years, now the understanding becomes so different. Then it's just like, that problem no more. It's like she realized she can live with that type of understanding and the Dhamma within her. And she no longer like before, with the thought coming in and like the thought is paise, no more, gone. Then she sees the beauty, the importance. Like when the physical class open back Tuesday class, she make it a point to attend every session. Sometimes she come alone. These are the people who are very different. Their condition it manifests. So very beautiful, huh? But you start to understand, witness all this. And this is what the Liang Jing is all about. This Dhamma can only be understood by the wise, each for themselves, and cultivated over a long period. Because it needs the daily life to express all these things. And this manifestation of the Dhamma in daily life, in real life, is what the Liang Jing is trying to share when we talk about the Sutra of infinite meaning. After virtue is the proclamation of Dhamma. So to be able to proclaim that type of Dhamma, you have to have very wide exposure, very, not only wide, extensive. Then you have to come many lifetimes, like eons and eons and eons, and go through all this. That's why only you have that type of perfection, that wisdom, that understanding, then only you can share. Otherwise you can't. It's not easy. So that's why this window of opportunity and the condition is very rare, very beautiful. So my nature also rejoices because many people now can understand and benefit. So hopefully, with all this, Kayamita and those who have the affinity will continue to diligently develop the cultivation, the understanding, the joy, and transform and be a blessing to all, so that this teaching, this Dhamma, can become a living reality to touch the heart of all living beings. And more of this cultivator can go the Bodhisattva way and develop all this extensive understanding and develop their nature so that you all can one day be like my nature or better than me and fulfill your perfection. And all these are possible. That's why you all should have faith and sincerely walk this path diligently with perseverance. Very good, Sadhu. Which I you
Sadhu,
continue.
sadhu,
Yeah,
sadhu, Brother
yeah,
Teo. Yes, I think the living Dharma can become a living reality is
yeah.
most important. Yes, thank you, Brother Teo. I think more and more Kayamitas are actually transforming and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and changing for the better. I
Yes.
mean, from their sharing of the Dharma sharing on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
weekly basis, you
Mm.
actually can see that they are progressing in the right
Yeah,
direction
they
as
have
well. So
transformed. They are
sadhu
very
to all
different.
them.
Even their
Yes.
ability to understand, to comprehend what I share nowadays is fantastic. My nature also rejoice. Surprisingly, they themselves like tell me they didn't know what happened, but suddenly all this like easy to understand, clear, and people can now follow. Even that day, Thursday class, there was one lady, long time didn't come only. I think sister what, Xiu Ping or what. I asked her, I say, at the end of the class, can follow? He said, yeah. He said, there was joy in her face and all that, surprisingly. And that one was thought-based meditation, again, awareness-based meditation. And you can understand that means the consciousness has transformed. The understanding is different. And like a lot of Kaliman Mita said, it's few years, a lot of them retired already. Oh, they got more time now. So our retreat, no need to wait for school holiday and all this thing. Maybe I make use of the opportunity to make some announcement about the retreat. The temple Sampo has decided, the committee decided, no more official retreat for this year. They only will open up very lightly from next year onward, the official retreat. So that is the latest news. And Sister Pamasuri discussed with me. Then we try to fix the usual March holiday, but then we realized Hari Raya also near holiday, a lot of traffic. So we have moved it to, I think, end of August, I think, to go inside with the Labor Day and Vesak Day. That May lah, no end of April, no end of April, end of April. Sorry, end of April, extending it to early May, making full use of the holiday, public holiday of Labor Day and Vesak Day. It was, I think Vesak Day was 4th of May, I was told. So Labor Day was 1st of May. So you go back that weekend after the first week of Hari Raya, ideal victory. And we come down, I think, a few days after Vesak, the weekend. So also 9 days. So we try to submit for that date. So if we can get next year will be a good time, where officially we can have more people attending. So that is the latest, the good news. Then whatever the rest, we just see how it goes and let things be. Okay, Puche, you continue.
Yeah. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So it's
Yeah.
around April 2023.
End of April to beginning of first week of May.
Okay.
That weekend, Saturday to Sunday.
Maratio, before I ask somebody to do the sharing, I just want to to mention again about this brother Chin Hao, the message
Yeah,
from Sister Ingbi,
yeah,
and all the. The message was beautiful, and
yeah,
to
yeah.
tell brother Chin Hao that he has done well, and
Yeah,
also Sister Sui for also helping out with
yeah,
the
yeah,
latest video taking on the Thursday class, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
done
yeah, yeah. The
very well
video,
as well, you know,
yeah,
which I
very
find
well.
very
Yeah,
useful, and I can watch it on the Zoom very
yeah,
clearly, you
yeah,
know.
very clear.
Yeah, so it was well done, although it's not like, I mean, it's a new place for her to go there and do
Yeah, yeah,
by
yeah. First
herself,
time she
so
is
it's
doing it
pretty
there.
difficult for her also, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
things are all not set up yet,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
despite all this, she did it very well.
Yeah, yeah.
Sadhu,
Chin
and
Hao
thank
also
you very
edit it
much
very
on
well.
behalf
Yeah.
of everybody and all Kayamitas.
Sadhu.
Yes, thank
Yeah, we
you.
should rejoice.
So we should be very thankful.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
I also tell
Sadhu.
Brother Jinhao not to
Yeah,
worry about this
correct, correct, correct.
small item and all.
Yeah.
In fact, we should be much more grateful to him for doing all the hard work, and we get
Yes, yes, yes.
benefit from all the videos, you know. And like Brother Teo said, the last few how to call that, 1-2 weeks,
Yeah, they're
1 to 3 weeks,
sharing.
all
Yeah.
the sharing
All
was
our
very good.
Dhamma
So
classes.
yes,
They
we
are
should
all
do all
very
the short
beautiful. Yeah,
videos.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we should do all the short videos, you know,
Yes,
to
yes, yes.
benefit
It
more
will
people.
help a lot of people.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Yes, I'm here, Sister
Yeah,
Pocheng. Thank you.
yeah.
I thought I want to hide myself. No way.
Yeah, it's meant to be. That's why I must get Sister Ingrid to come in also. Yeah, she has a lot of understanding, Sister Ingrid. Sadhu.
No lah, but
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this
you
understanding
are
will
good. You
benefit.
are really good. You're very humble and you like don't want to be in the known one. So you are the one who have the good understanding. And my nature rejoice. Sadhu to you.
We all benefited from all Dhamma sharing from Brother Teo, actually.
Yes. Our unique code, from there I already knew you really good. When you can collect them all, I also surprised that I said so many, 100 over or anyhow.
So must include this phrase, living Dhamma inside the unique code.
Living Dhamma. Now we can add in this one. No more thought-based meditation, awareness-based. Well, these are the evolution of that understandings movement. Before we have people who understand, all this teaching cannot come out. Like now, all the more detailed explanation and the sharing. I tell you that feel, once it come out, you all will become very, very different. Because you can see with the mindfulness and the awareness, the functioning of the mind, how you function as a human being, how your mundane mind actually create all this movement. And this was not theory anymore. You saw it in the real life one. Then through the awakening, the insight, the understanding, you become very different one. You don't need to say you want to change it. That change is happening inside there already. Because the moment you understand, awaken, that form and mind transform, change, awaken. That's why now the stability of understanding will keep on unfolding, Then you all realize the rooting out of habitual tendency is no more an issue like last time. Last time, a lot of people still ask me, but still this habitual tendency very difficult. Even the Tzu Chi Abbot, Zhe Faster, she also knew habitual tendency very difficult to root out. But with this understanding, now all the essential Dhamma connected and a new way of sharing because of causes and conditions, people start to understand. So this unfolding will create another phase of evolution, of cultivation and transformation of the Kayamita's consciousness. So all these are beautiful. Yeah, Amy, you continue.
In a way, I think I speak for myself lah.
Yeah.
Daily living, in daily living, whenever I encounter I knew it inside the heart that if it's a negativity, so like as though I can catch it,
Yeah,
you know. So I said,
immediately.
you want to suffer, then you carry on with this.
You have two choices. Yeah, correct. Yeah, sadhu.
Carry on with this suffering lah, not suffer
Yeah.
enough, man.
Yeah, sadhu,
Yeah,
sadhu. Yeah. Then you will wake up on. You will not be like last time already.
yeah,
And now
it's
is
something
enough.
like, yeah, something like the Chinese word is 及时知道啊，及
对
时
对，及时
及时抓
知道，
到了什么是
做到了。
苦，什么你还要
对对
再
对对。
drag on no point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no point. Yeah.
So nowadays, I'm kind of stabilizing more and more this
Yeah. And
daily
you are more
mindfulness
quiet also.
to
Yeah.
actually to alert. The alertness come naturally. It's just
Usually
that
not. That's why I say spontaneous one. It from the nature that understanding come on. And it will prompt you. It's not through the thought one. It's spontaneously the understanding. That's why I say you only so monastica. You have means you have. You don't have means you don't have. And you cannot like want to have that type of wisdom. Cannot. There is no knowledge. The knowledge cannot come on. You got to go and think, recall through memory. Like a lot of them, when I ask them some simple Dhamma question, your brother TK or another people, Lorita, they realize they have to recall through memory to answer what I like inquire or ask them. So that one will make it very clear. Knowledge-based, thought-based cannot. That thing cannot come out. But after you have developed the silent mind, the awareness-based meditation, and the understanding and the stability of it, you realize this understanding spontaneously surface, like what you experience. Even your experience many years back when you went to Paris that you share with us in the previous Thursday class sharing was very beautiful. And all these things you can develop the understanding even that time. By now, it would have been much, much more stable. But the understanding is people are just the way they are, the way you describe is very beautiful. Then you can just silently observe and have the understanding. Then no need to interfere. Let them resolve it. If they cannot resolve it, you want to come in, only you come in. That's why all this is not easy. Most people will be like agitated, excited condition, and they want to do something. But to have the ability to be aware and observe with a silent mind and understand and rejoice is really beautiful. That's why that is the beginning of true understanding and transformation. Otherwise, you cannot do it. That's why my nature knew that time when you reported and shared that I rejoiced. And luckily, the short note recorded it.
yeah, that was so many years ago already. But,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's all depend on oneself. I felt is
Yes.
if we are not awakened early and hard enough, we are still mong cha cha.
Still heedless on.
Still mong cha cha. Don't know what actually happening to us.
Yeah. Very true. Don't know what is happening in life.
We like carried away by the environment, by the situation.
Yeah.
Which the only thing that can help us is sati. The sati is very, very important.
Without sati, you cannot be aware. You cannot be aware, you are dead. Because that mundane mind continue to proliferate one. And therefore, the mundane mind, through its own delusion and heedlessness, will actually tell you a lot of nonsense. That's how the manifestation of the five mental hindrance with the evil root behind develop the condition to create havoc in the living being. People without wisdom, they are trapped, they are entangled. That's why the word ensnare, I like this word ensnare, trapped inside the cocoon of mundane thinking. So now with the understanding, the mindfulness awareness, you start to understand why living being cannot come out. Because they hardly aware. They don't even know what sati really is. The silent mind without thought, space within thought, they can't experience it. That's why I share with some Kayamita, I say 5 or 10 years from now, our sharing among Kayamita will be different again. We can actually talk with those style of understanding. Right now, I talk to you in that type of sharing is so different. You need sati to see all this. That's why without sati, there is no heedfulness. And the heedless eyes, if these are very clear. Yeah, you
without,
continue.
yeah, without sati, there's no life.
Yeah, no life. Yeah.
Without sati, we just
Good.
don't know what we are doing.
Yeah, as if dead. The Buddha said, the healers are as if dead. But thank you, spiritual life no more.
Luckily, we are still have this Buddha Sasana, and
Yeah,
now
to have this type of teaching. Yeah. Otherwise, not easy, not easy. Without the sasana, you just imagine how to teach. Don't even have the essential Dhamma as a skeleton for me to share. At least I share based on that teaching, the skeleton. There is something to refer to. Then at least I don't need to like tell people this is what I have developed. No. This one is what the Buddha said. I just share to make sure you understand. Then the true meaning come out. Then when the true meaning come out, people can understand. Otherwise, they will think, oh, Brother Tio, he's not even a monk. He's a lay person. How come he can know all this? Cannot be. They won't believe it. They don't even want to give you a chance to listen to it. But luckily, you got sasana. Then got the essential Dhamma. That's why initially when I come out to share, I use the Buddha's word. I use all the, where I can understand it. Then slowly, I evolve out my own words and understanding because not until people can follow, no point. That's why I reverse my sharing back to the essential Dhamma. I keep on repeating, and people knew that this thing need to be repeated. That's why initially some does not understand. Sister Yun Chan, they always tell me, but why you keep on repeating on the Four Noble Truths? These are kindergarten stuff. I say when you understand, it is not kindergarten style. Here, the essence of the Buddha's teaching is the wonderful truth, and its treatment is very penetrating, very deep in its understanding. It's not easy to comprehend. That's why over the years, luckily, since 2004, they're now almost 18 years already of continuous sharing, and the consciousness has evolved and become different. So beautiful, Amy? Very good.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vaidyo,
Yeah,
for all your effort, all your time, all your
yeah. We should all
to continue to
rejoice
guide us.
together. Yeah. My nature
I
also
forgot already,
rejoice.
Vaidyo.
Yeah. I know.
Maybe
So
we end.
sadhu. Yeah, we should end, Okay, let us rejoice, Today, very good sharing. Sadhu. Okay, so we will end the whole session. We will do the closing puja, sharing of merits, everything. And after that, you all can pay your respect to all the worthy ones. Akasata cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Cirang Rakantu Lokasasana Etta Wata Jamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sampasampati Siddhya Idang menya tina hotu sukita hontu nyateyo. Idang menya tina hotu sukita hontu nyateyo. Idang menya tina hotu sukita hontu nyateyo. Devo wasato kalena sasa sampati hetu cha Vito bhavatu loko cha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end the whole Zoom session. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.